everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Britt and this is Coffee and Makeup. Today you'll be watching my part 2 of my hair care Q&A video. I just wanted to let you guys know that not all of the answers in this Q&A are going to be totally relevant at this point because I did end up having a medium chop last week and I've kind of adjusted my hair care goals. So I'm going to be making a video about that, but I wanted to let you guys see the second half of the Q&A anyway. And I hope you guys all enjoy. I'll see you next time. Usha asked, what is the best shampoo you have ever used? And Amanda Dillon, hey, I know her. What's the best drugstore sulfate shampoo? So guys, I feel that most shampoos are created equal. I think that they mostly do the same things. I find that they are equally effective generally. So you can really just take your pick with shampoos and some of your other tastes can come to the surface, like if you have a specific fragrance that you like, or perhaps you like only cruelty-free shampoos like I do, then those tastes can win out in those preferences because all shampoo at the drugstore, in my opinion, is pretty much equally effective. Shmiv0394, who is your inspiration for your hair? I can't say I started with an inspiration, but one of my coworkers the other day called me Crystal Gale, and I had to look up who it was for shame, but she is gorgeous, and I think we have kind of similar hair. Hers is a good bit thicker, but she is definitely one of my inspirations. I'll put a picture of her somewhere around here so you can see her. Dana Paulson asks about my opinion on cutting bangs. She is saying that she feels tempted at times to have blunt bangs, but then she's wondering, hey, once my hair gets to a certain long length, is it gonna look weird? For this question, I have had blunt bangs before. Maybe I'll put a picture in. But they did not suit my face, and I think you guys will probably agree that I look better without them. So for me, it's just totally an aesthetic thing. For something about my face shape is just not lending itself to having bangs. However, I think it's totally possible to have blunt bangs and have really long hair. In fact, a fellow YouTuber, Andrea691 here on YouTube, who I will link below, she has long hair and she has straight across bangs, and I think they look fabulous on her. Annie Mae, hey girl, she asks, have you tried hair soaps before? I used one for the first time yesterday and I'm in awe. That sounds amazing. Can you tell me in the comments which one you used? Because I have not tried them. The closest thing I've tried is the Lush shampoo bar, which I guess is kind of like a hair soap, but I haven't tried anything by that name. So let me know what it is and I'll try it. Shrita asks, how is your hair so shiny? I think it's partially genetics, and also I try to take really good care of it. And I also use silicones. I use silicone conditioners, and that's of course a great shine boosting product. Asuma asks, hey Britt, for as long as I can remember, I had really long medium thickness hair. Hip length very similar in texture to mine, but about 2 to 3 years ago, she lost a lot of weight, 90 pounds. Wow, congratulations. And she went vegan, and she noticed that about half of her hair's volume was lost. In the end, we're getting really thin. So let me tell you, just from that, I think it is diet related. And if you go, I did link my diet video in this description. So go to that video, and I think you'll find a lot of the things that you're saying I mentioned there. Any type of rapid weight loss will cause hair loss. If you're having a vegan diet, it's really hard to get enough protein and iron, and it's not impossible, but it is difficult. And those are two nutrients that if we don't have enough, it's scientifically shown that our hair will fall out. If you're vegan for ethical reasons, then of course, you need to, that's more important than your hair. But if you're vegan for health reasons, maybe you can think about incorporating a little bit of animal products back in. However, there are ways to be vegan and get enough protein. You just need to focus on it. So focus on your protein, focus on your iron, and make sure you're getting enough calories. 90 pounds is a lot of weight to lose. Maybe you're just eating below the calories that you need, in which case those nutrients need to be rationed by your body for more important bodily processes. Another diet-related comment from Connect the Dots, she says that she also used to have thick hair but was anorexic in high school and had high levels of stress. Her hair's getting healthy again, but she would love to get back that thickness. So my advice for this is actually similar to my advice for Asuma, which is make sure you're getting enough protein, iron, and check in with yourself. Are you eating enough calories? Are you able to eat intuitively? Do you have any holdovers from that point in your life? I've had some experience with disordered eating, and it's really hard to get those subconscious biases out of your head. So maybe you're eating restricted in ways that you don't even really realize, that are still kind of relics from that point in your life. So I would look at your diet definitely, and protein and iron especially. And I think it takes time for your body to heal, so be patient with it as well. Zach Durbus, have you ever used sea salt spray? Hope all is well. I have never used sea salt spray because I heard that it's not that great for your hair because it is salty and it can draw out the moisture. And also my hair already stays looking like it's got sea salt spray in it. Just from, I don't know, naturally. So I've never tried it. I think it looks really cool on people though, and I know a lot of people like it. Long Hair for Everyone asks, how often do you get pressured to cut your hair? Rarely ever at this point. People mostly really like it. Mathilde Paletti asks if some people tell me that my hair is too fine to grow it this long. Only on YouTube. Giovanni asks how I get along with my length and don't I get a headache when it's been in a bun? Yes, I do. Fuck. I get so many headaches. And I commented that in a previous video and everybody really liked that comment and were giving me suggestions. One of the suggestions was to braid up into my bun instead of just bunning in the back, to start by doing a French or a Dutch braid on either side and then collect all the hair into a bun to give the hair like more different anchor points throughout my scalp. I've been trying that and it does work. Lil Sketcher asks, what is your worst hair experience? I actually have two really bad hair experiences. Once, when I was first starting to grow out my hair, I had already discovered Long Hair Community, which is my favorite hair website, and I was starting to really get fixated on the idea of having long hair. And I was going in for a haircut. I was ready to get an even length. I was ready to cut out all my dye and just get serious about this hair growth thing. So this was actually a free haircut. My mom knew someone who would cut the hair for free. We just bought her cigarettes, which was so random, but we paid in cigarettes for this haircut. Probably a red flag. So I told her just a trim, but I wasn't as articulate as I could have been, which is why I made that how to talk to your hairdresser video so everyone can learn from my mistakes. But I just told her just a trim, whatever, very wishy-washy. She went to cut my hair and pulled out this razor and started razoring into it, like just random lengths, random angles, just. And I was sitting there and then I see floating down to the floor these huge long chunks of hair. Like some of them were like this big. This is not a trim. Like any good hairdresser is gonna tell you this is not a trim. Even though I wasn't specific, that's still really bad. She ended up cutting these crazy layers into my hair. It looked weird. No one would have said it looked good. It looked freaky, and I was so devastated. I sat in the chair and I was holding back tears and I was able to contain them, but when I got to the car, the floodgates were opened and I just bawled my eyes out. Horrible experience, especially because I was trying to grow my hair. Like I had goals and this lady just ruined them. The other time I caught my hair on fire. I was leaning over a table to grab something and there was a lit candle on the table and also a lamp there. So I'm leaning over and my boyfriend Tom is in the room and he's like, hey, be careful of your hair. And I was like, it's just a lamp, you know? A lamp's not gonna hurt my hair. And then I smelled something burning and I was like, oh crap. And I looked down and my hair was singed off. I could see the smoke coming up from my hair and it was all, you know how melted hair kind of like sticks all together in like a clump? It was all clumped together in one place, and again I just started crying. However, it was only a little small piece, so thankfully it blended in with the rest of my hair and I couldn't tell you where it is now because even though it got burnt off pretty considerably, it just blends in with the rest of my hair. 82 Rose Cott asks, how old were you when you started growing out your hair? I was in my second or third year of college. I had had pretty long hair, and then there was a guy that broke up with me and broke my heart, and I just went back to my dorm room and I chopped my ponytail off. So then my hair got up to like here, and it was kind of around this length when I was like discovering the long hair community and decided to once and for all grow it out and not let these stupid boys dictate how I cut my hair. It was funny too because after I had chopped it all off and, you know, had my angry breakdown and like, I'm not gonna let anybody control me, then I went into the hairstylist to have them fix it because it was a mess and some pieces were longer than others, and they were like, oh, did a boy break up with you? I guess it happens a lot, so I thought I was being so like rebellious, but really just doing the same thing as everybody else. Fairy Ginny asks, how many times a week do you wash your hair? I wash it every other day. Matarauchia I'm sorry. She asks, how tall are you and how many inches long is your hair? Not sure about the inches. I will let you guys know when I do measure. How tall? I'm about 5'7", so that's something that I'm like, guys, you have to understand that when I'm talking about my hair reaching my waist or hips or tailbone or whatever, that's, you know, it's not the same distance from my top of my head to my tailbone as it is from the top of your head to your tailbone. I get a lot of people commenting on my videos like, wow, that took her 5 years. Like, I could grow my hair that long in like 2 years. And it's like, well, you're probably like 5 foot nothing. Pet peeve, it really annoys me to see that comment on my videos because I'm like, you don't have an actual point of comparison here. Kins 3.0, hey girl. She asks, what do you do about white dots in your hair if you get them? Most of my length is ridden with them. I know that this is a common problem for a lot of people. I've never had a white dot. I know what it is just a point at which the hair has frayed and damaged in some way, kind of like a split, but it's just kind of like burst rather than split into 2 pieces. So I know that it's showing some damage, so I would think since it is fraying that you just trim it off. I will confirm that, and if that is not the case, I'll write something down here, but I believe trimming it off is the best way. I know my problem is always single strand knots. Now that I've gotten to this length, I find so many single strand knots. It's crazy, and I always just trim them off because I think anything that is going to prevent your hair from slipping against other strands is going to eventually cause more damage, which I think is the case for white dots. I know it's the case for single strand knots because a lot of my big tangles are built around, like once I dissect the tangle, I find that at the center is this single strand knot and I'm like, ah. So I just cut them off. Any texture issue that's gonna cause tangles that's abnormal, I just tend to trim it off. Okay guys, that was the last question of the 4 pages. Thank you so much for all your great questions. I had a really fun time answering them. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and let me know if you have any more questions below or if you just want to update me on your hair life. I'm always happy to hear about it. I hope you guys are having a great day and happy holidays, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.